Good news, everybody! It's time for another friendly sealed Ixalan match. Probably mispronouncing that again. So, since last time, I've made a few tweaks to the deck because it was stalling out in the mid-range around turns 3 or 4. I would put a few early drops down, and then nothing else would come through as I needed it to. So I added in a few more of my 3 drops and even my 2 drops, and I took out the Chupacabra and my 3 Explorer creatures, which were just not pulling their weight. So hopefully this deck performs a little better. This hand, you could see, is a little bit more of a consistent draw. We've got a nice 2-drop, 3-drop, and a 4-drop if we need. We've got 2 different varieties of that, and enough mana to keep us going. So I'm definitely going to keep playing this, and hopefully this deck switches from control deck to a little bit more of a mid-range or more of an aggro deck. I am playing the Ruin Raider, which I'm not the biggest fan of. I know it can be good, but I'm just afraid of the potential life loss for it if I'm not able to put enough pressure on my opponent to make up for the life loss from the different card draw that we've got going on for it. So all we know so far is that he's a blue-black deck, which could mean blue-black pirates, blue-black-red pirates, probably not merfolk. Just because that would be more blue-green, unless he's playing, not so much of a tribal deck and more of just a general blue-black. It could be more of a treasure-oriented deck, which leads itself a little bit more to pirates anyway. He could just be slow on the acceptance, but I'm wondering if he has any sort of removal. Or he was wondering when to play his second opt, which is pretty nice. Get some good scrying going on and a little bit of card draw for him to kind of work his hand out. So I like seeing the fleet captain, and I do have another pirate in hand, which is good. For the attacks, I'm definitely going to swing in, because at worst it trades with his 2-drop or his 1-drop here. And he's definitely just going to go for the straight trade. And in this case, I'm going to go with this is a slightly tougher call here, but I might go with the fleet captain for now. If he draws something else, or if he plays a smaller creature, it means that the menace won't matter as much, and maybe the Sky March would have been better. But with this, we should be able to do something to maybe get through and eventually get another pirate down, so we can start creating tokens. He definitely has some sort of raid effect going on. I'm going to let him strike through because I don't think there's any pump spells in blue-black that really matter for this, and I'm not going to kill it, and I just risk him having any sort of other weird pump spell, like even a Skullduggery, or however you want to pronounce it. but it makes sense that he would play the discard raid creature, which is a bummer. Not thrilled about dropping any of these, but I guess I can let the Bloodletter go. I don't want to drop out any of my kill spells, and the Fleet Cutthroat, if I do end up playing that, will only help me later on. I'm not the biggest fan of playing it without being able to kill something, but that might be the right play here, because then I might be able to create a token and play the Skymarch Bloodletter next turn if I get more mana, or at the minimum I can just start creating tokens depending on what he leaves back for attackers, or I'm able to drop in some of them removal. But instead, no, I'm going to go for it this turn. It means he'll definitely be leaving up the Deadeye to block, which does mean that the Fleet Captain probably won't make it in unless I use Vanquish the Weak or the Pious Interdiction. But we'll see what he ends up playing to see what we do from here. Cool. So, even if I take out one of his creatures, he'll be able to swing in. So, I'm probably just going to play the Bloodletter. Hold off for a little bit here in terms of